Alrighty, so this is the first of 5 videos so far that will be coming out during October. These are going to be completely non-professional, usually completely unedited. These are just for my own purposes, but I figured putting them on YouTube might be helpful for myself and for others. So what this is a self-challenge, which I am calling math questing. So what math questing is I'm going to be documenting, it's going to be a documented attempt of using my time and resources to pursue the mastery of mathematics and become a better person. So a little bit more of an explanation on that, and what I mean by mastery is I'm going to be starting from step 0 of mathematics and going all the way to step whatever I think is reasonable. Something that I've noticed by doing a little bit of research is that mathematics, when you start getting into the higher levels, isn't what I assumed it would be. It becomes a bunch more nuanced and specialized. There are different types of mathematics for different types of pursuits and things like that. So we'll see where it ends up. But as for right now, yeah, this is what we're going to be doing is, well, I'm going to be doing, and then what I'm going to be doing as well is documenting the process. So, why? In having ample resources in many spheres of my life, I'm looking to pursue mastery of the values I hold in a way that allows me to benefit myself, my family, my friends, and the world at large. So a lot of the things that I have been doing recently, like with school and stuff like that, have been really disappointing. A lot of the classes are, firstly, they're very expensive. Secondly, it's nothing that I can't teach myself. The only issue that comes with this is, of course, that I don't get a sheet of paper. But there's no love so far I've found in any of the courses that I've taken, and on top of that, I generally have a really tough time sticking with things that don't have deeper meaning. It's just one of the things that I've found within myself, and I've thought that math is a beautiful thing. I've noticed that it's something that I will be able to use forever, and hopefully it is as close to objective truth that I can get. So, kind of going into that a little bit deeper here are the values that I have. Just going through them, I'm not going to go ahead and explain like why they're super important to me, but because I said they're kind of vague. I just think that one of the things that is kind of interesting about them is the order that they're in. Here is that something that I've noticed is that these kind of build into each other. Logic kind of doesn't really. Logic could be here, it could go before stories, but this is they're ordered from most valuable to least valuable, of course all of them being important, but yeah, I've noticed that there's kind of a progression in these, which I think is interesting. Resources, so of course the circumstances around me, the time that I have, like I have today off, due to the amazing work schedule that I'm able to get doing construction. And I just recently decided to leave Barnes & Noble so I could focus on things that are more important to me. Of course, I'm young as of now, and I think that when we're younger, people have an easier time absorbing information, so I've got that on my side. Cognition, of course, as good as that can be, and not very. These are the biggest ones here. Human resources, digital resources, of course. Income, having a job, which is something that not everyone has. Health, of course, being able to even do this is something that a lot of people cannot do because, of course, Maslow's hierarchy, all that. Previous schooling and the ability to maintain these as they maintain me. This is a really difficult one that I struggle with, and I think this is going to be one of the biggest speed bumps here during this. How? So firstly, creating a comprehensive list of the concepts of mathematics. This was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, but let's see if I have it here. Sheets. Oh, am I on the wrong one? I'm gonna need tab. Sheets. Yep, there it is. So this is, I went in and did them by, my grade level? Because I visited quite a few sites, and all of the resources digital resources that I'm going to be using, and I think human resources I'll be listing as well. Of course, the digital resource is more accessible to anyone who's watching this. This is a really big one here. But a lot of these links, and I went and did a lot of Googling as well, like to see, what were the steps to math, because it's a foundational based learning system, at least so I think it is. And most people will put you here. When you look at basics and stuff like that, most people put you here. They say, we'll read these books, go and figure out where you are with them, kind of research your stuff back, and then jump into what they would call the basics here, which is ridiculous to me. I don't have a massive struggle with math so far as I can tell. However, I've noticed that I've missed major foundational things because of the school systems and stuff like that, and testing out of this or going ahead to this or whatever. It was terrible, absolutely terrible, because I missed very basic stuff, and now that I'm in college, I'm finding that it is extremely frustrating to always be playing catch up, to always be learning new, just new vocabulary, which is so frustrating. If I wanted to build a car, and I think anyone can learn anything, right? If I wanted to build a car, though, how frustrating would it be to be able to build the car? You are able to do it. Let's say you're physically and mentally able to do it. However, and you have the roadmap right in front of you, but you don't know what any of the names mean. It's not labeled A, B, or C. There are words to things that you don't know. And so as you're building this thing, you're also having to constantly remember it's terrible. In any case, at least that's one of the struggles that I have. And I'm sure there are more. I'm excited to be able to go back and learn from the very beginning. Now, I do know that some terms and stuff like that are flexible, but of course we'll get into that later. So it took me a while to find an accurate listing, but the one that I used was actually on Khan Academy's website, which you can see here. As for what I'm going to be doing after college, for the collegiate level, I'm not sure. I'll have to do more, but as for right now, I'm just focusing on the stuff that's already listed. So this is what we have here. Now, starting before pre-K, which is what we're doing right now, the video that you're watching, which I'm going to call pre-math questing. What I did on the Khan website, as you can see here, is the growth mindset. I went ahead and did the elementary and middle school one to start as low as possible. It was actually really nice. There's really cute videos and tiny activities to put it into perspective, I guess, to put growing and learning into perspective. So one of the things here, as it asks in the beginning, is when you're learning, what do you think is happening in your brain? And so I drew, it asks you to draw what you think, and so I put a little brain here pushing up a boulder, because at least that's the way it feels for me. It's like you're having to push past some type of block. And then it asks you to fill in a blank, where it was learning blank would make so-and-so, whatever, right here. So I said learning math would make my life better because it allows me to make beautiful things, and learning math would make my life more interesting because I'll be able to express myself easier and better. Let's see. So we're creating the comprehensive list of mathematics, and then acquiring the materials and tools of introduction, and creating a schedule in the attempt to relearn. And that's what this whole this first lead part is this video, which I think that this was really cool because this was pretty much straight on. So it talks about the growth mindset. Of course, these are things that everybody knows. Everybody knows these things. It's just it's not written out in plain English for a lot of people. I like this one a lot. If you spend time learning the new math skill, if you spend time learning new math skills, you can actually grow your brain so the skills unrelated to math improve as well. And that's really the why here on Math Questing, right here at the top. Looking to pursue the mastery of values I hold in a way that allows me to benefit myself, my family, and friends, and the world at large. This is somehow even, the math part is even the least important. It's just something that's such a concrete road to follow that it can show me where my internal blocks are, the things that I have to learn how to navigate, and the things I have to learn how to get better at. Speech, articulation, goal progression, discipline, consistency, planning, all of those things are things that I want to get better at. And I think that the pursuit of math here from the bottom up is something that's going to really teach me that. So one of the really cool things that they added here is creating SMART goals, is what they called it. And one of the struggles that I have as a perfectionist is creating realistic goals. So of course, specific, measurable, actionable, and they go through all the reasons and what that would be. Mine, my SMART goal, I don't have it written out here on the computer, but I have it written in pen. It says mine is by October 31st, I want to have documented my comprehensional understanding of math concepts from pre-K to second grade, totaling in 5 videos. I want to achieve this goal so that I can see if I am able to do this, why I want to, what my struggles are, etc., which I just explained. So this was an interesting spot here where it says to increase our chances of success, visualize your victory. And so this is what I drew here. These would be the 5 videos. This would be me as a math wizard. If I achieve my goal, I will feel confident. I think that's one of the biggest things that's going to start off, is that I'll have confidence that I'm able to do something outside of regiment, like outside of school, outside of somebody telling me what to do, and being able to actually fully comprehend it in a way that I find absolutely beautiful. Being able to dig as deep as I want to into the background of the history of numbers or whatever it might be, to be able to dig as deep as I want to into the philosophy, the people, being able to go out into the real world and to apply it as many ways as I want. I really like to make video games. I like to do art. And so I think that being able to use math as a tool to help me excel in those areas is going to be really important. So one of the things it says is, what are the things that you think that you're going to have to face that will give you trouble? And I think the biggest one here is burnout and bad time management. Having ADD and it's always a constant struggle of having to choose or having to regulate things that make you feel good. Right, you have to being disciplined. It's so difficult. The compulsion, there's no freedom in it. And one of the things about compulsion is that it's something that you do over and over again. You never learn from it. That's how you know it's compulsive. And gosh, it's so frustrating to continue to make the same mistakes over and over again. And so I think one of the things about documenting this is it's a little bit like journaling, but in a way that appeals more to me. Is that I'll be able to go back and see the things specifically where I made a mistake, like in the SMART goal by saying October 31st when it should have been, just 1 week, 5 videos when it should have just been 2 videos, stuff like that. These are huge too, is social pressures, video game addiction. It's so easy to just, log on to Steam and play whatever you want endlessly forever, but I'd like to make my own video games. I'd like to learn more about programming and stuff like that, and I find that at least in my own life, isolation is kind of a common occurrence for me because it's something that I prefer to do because I like to sit and think about whatever it might be. Maybe I'll show you guys sometime the books that I am reading and working on and want to work on, but that'll be for another time. And then this is cool too. This is conquering obstacles. The people that I can talk to. See, these are my friends here. Little depictions of them, and actions I can do to stay on track. Plan my time spent taking breaks and setting and maintaining reasonable goals, having fun. planning my time. It's seemingly, so far as I can tell, is that time management has become a massive issue with ADD and stuff like that. And I think it's going to be really important that I use any free time that I get, like today I have today off, to do something that will improve my life, which I think that this is something that will be. The name of it says to name the goal. So this first goal here of making the 5 videos by October 31st and making it to 2nd grade is what I'm calling Math Questing Tutorial Island. It's funny because, you know, the math, hopefully, I mean, I'm not sure, but hopefully the math will be simple. And it'll be something that I can wrap my head around easily. But the hard part, of course, being able to spend my time well, to make sure that I'm pacing myself, to not try to get burnt out, to make sure that I'm taking care of myself. It's seemingly so. Something that I've seen a lot in my life is that, like I said before, anyone can learn anything. And I've noticed that it's, no matter what it is, I have a lot of fun doing whatever it is in my life that I do. However, the issue, of course, is that I'll spend far too much time on something. So basically what I just went through here was second and thirdly, which are kind of the same thing. Through trial and error, creating a method of true understanding of concepts. So we'll stop there. That's pretty much what all of this is, but true understanding of concepts. I want it to be at a level that is, like it says, learn these concepts at highest ability. I want it to be at a level of true and deep understanding, and I'll have to do some more study of epistemology. But I've noticed that there's a sequence to understanding something where it is that you don't know anything at all, and then it's presented to you, and then you kind of have a knowledge of it where you can recall it, and then you put it into practice, and then it becomes second nature, and then you master it. So it's like there's this huge process into mastering something. That's good. That's good, Jordan. There's this huge process to mastering something, and I want to be able to create a method of that is quick and true. Fourthly, documenting the journey, and this is what we're doing now, documenting the journey in a way that shows the struggles of self-teaching, the virtues of it, in a way that shows the deeper beauty behind mathematics, and with any luck allows me to become a better person through the love of those around me. So I'm not sure how it's going to end up with the documentation part, because this is not going to be a series of me teaching you guys what math is, because I want it to be about documenting the process of self-teaching. So let's say we have somebody who's watching this, even me later in life. I'm very forgetful. Let's say I want to learn how to skateboard. Being able to go on the internet and watch somebody go through the process of self-teaching and becoming frustrated and seeing that it's something that somebody is doing. And hopefully one of the things that I want to be able to do, one of the goals that I want, is to be able to acquire a tool of self-teaching and to really implement it in my own life, where no matter what it is, if I want to learn how to skateboard, that instead of it being, 5 years of trial and error to become mediocre, that it becomes, 1 or 2 years of consistent focus in a healthy way that leads to something great. I think would be important. As for what comes of this, or what I wish it to be, again, something that I just kind of went into. Access to essential thought and action, allowing for the most profit investment of time and creativity, basically just what I went over. Acquiring the tools mentally, virtuously, or otherwise, to allow me to help my family, my friends, and others realize their potential of freedom of expression. This is kind of, in summary, I think, what life is kind of about. It's you take something that helps you and you use it for the people around you that helps them. I think whether you want to come from like a Darwinian perspective, or even just from a very simple psychological perspective, that's a very true way to solidify something in somebody's life, is allowing it to then help the things and the people around them, realizing the power of choice and using it to maintain and cultivate a mental, physical, and spiritual life that is as deep as possible. That is as deep as possible for my human experience. This is a kind of more meta goal that's mostly kind of outside of this. But again, it's being able to, because I am knowledgeable that I'm able to learn anything. I know that. But I want to be able to learn how to see the world objectively, cleanly, so that the things that are very important, because there are good and bad things in the world. Being able to see them as they are and problem solve them in a way that is genuinely helpful, and that can be mental problems for myself or for people I don't even know, or for friends, family, etc. Physical problems, spiritual problems, etc. I want to be able to, at the end of the day, when I do eventually die, I want to have said that it was something that I have mastered, that I mastered the ability to be alive. I know this is like so perfectionism, kind of like unrealistic. I get it. But this is just another step, so we'll see where it is. And this one here, okay, it just goes back to beauty. Being able to see beauty wherever it may be, wherever it may go in this life. I think that beauty is kind of the culmination of a sort of utilitarian peace. It's where it's like I would call, for me beauty is not just one cog on a clock, right? It's all the cogs working together, the clock hand ticking, being able to wear it on, turning into a watch, being able to wear it on the hand, the person being able to have, to know the time, to be able to make a decision in a way that's helpful. All of those things coming from, just a single cog, from the battery, from the history of the battery, from people creating the battery, all of those things coming together, I think that for me is beautiful, and being able to be in a position where I'm able to see those things and be grateful for them, I think is a really gratifying experience. So this is Math Questing Explained. Today is August 8th, so I think I'm going to start today. Maybe I'll stop at maybe 5 or 6. I don't know what a good time to stop would be, but I'm going to see how far I can get today, starting from pre-K to, remember the goal being 2nd grade, I think. Let's see. Yep, 2nd grade. I think that's pretty much it. It's funny because even right now, right, so one of my really good friends, Jordan, who's depicted here, it's one of the obstacles that I have is, the social pressure, the video game addiction, stuff like that. It's like, it's so easy for me to just like right click here and boot up Destiny 2. I know that this is going to be kind of a really big struggle for me, but it'll be fun. This is really helpful. Khan Academy looks like it's going to be really fun, but of course I want to deviate from just Khan Academy. I want to make sure that I'm getting a well-rounded result. Of course, if you are watching this, please leave a comment below. If even if the series is done at this point, or if it just came out, and let me know what your thoughts on this are. What you think would be a greater way that you could implement this into your own life, or ways that you think that I could later in my life, or even later in this series, create better goals, or to plan it out a little bit better. In any case, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.